Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here. In the NBA, of course, the question always is which teams have the clutch factor in their favor. And I think once again, the Golden State Warriors have shown that when it comes to the clutch factor, they are just a cut above the rest. This coming after their overtime win 109-105 against the Atlanta Hawks last night. And of course, the big headliner there, no Stephen Curry, no Andre Iguodala, no problem. The Golden State Warriors find a way in overtime, but they do find a way, and of course the game sealed by Draymond Green's three-pointer at the end of that game in overtime. But it's one of those things where if you're trying to find more reasons why the Warriors are going to win the title this year, this is it. No Curry, no Iguodala, two guys who have such a heavy presence on this team, and it's really not a problem. Atlanta's a very good basketball team, not as good as they were last year, but they're still a good basketball team. They create a lot of turnovers. They put a lot of defensive pressure on you. And it's one of those things where, once again, the Warriors' overwhelming offense and depth across the board is able to get them through, even without the MVP of the league. And it's really not even close. I mean, this should be a no-brainer, unanimous decision. If anyone doesn't vote for Stephen Curry, I honestly think that your vote should be revoked because you just are being ignorant of the fact, or you just don't understand what you're watching. And either way, you don't deserve to have your vote if you do not vote for Stephen Curry right now. But it's one of those things where Klay Thompson is always there when Stephen Curry is off a little bit. Now, of course, Stephen Curry's not playing this game. Klay Thompson comes in, leads the team in scoring, 26 points, not a problem. But even in games where Curry, it's taken him a little while to get into his groove, to get comfortable, Klay Thompson is always there and ready to pick up the slack. I mean, I think that's one of the things that's so remarkable about this team is Thompson and Curry are so similar to each other in the way that they want to play. And it would be easy for their egos to get in the way of what matters, but it doesn't because I think big picture, they both get it. They both want to win, and they know you've got it. That comes with sacrifices. Andre Iguodala last season, a guy like him to be so unselfish and accept his role off the bench. Not a lot of veteran guys in this league who command his attention, his respect, and get that much amount of money would accept that role. But he did, and really that is what this whole team is encompassed by. It's that unselfish nature which allows them to walk into a game like this and beat the Atlanta Hawks when they don't have their best player, and another very important one. Klay Thompson was huge. Draymond Green, as he always is huge. And you just look across the board at the numbers for the Warriors, and it's one of the things where they are the deepest team in the NBA, and it just shows when you look at their numbers. I mean, Green in double figure scoring. You had Harrison Barnes in double figure scoring. Thompson with 26. Bogut with 19. Sean Livingston, a great change of pace point guard. And then off the bench, you have two other scorers in double figures. Barbosa with 11, and then Space with 10. Again, it's one of those things where building depth, quality depth in the NBA is so difficult. And I always go back to the 2010 NBA draft when the Warriors were able to get Draymond Green, they were able to get Festus Ezeli, and they were able to get Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes was their first pick in that draft. Then they were able to get Green, and then Ezeli was their last pick. But again, it's still one of those dynamics where it's so hard to fill out your roster with depth towards the front end. So many teams build it up and it kind of falters out towards the back end of it. But there is quality almost at every spot for the Warriors, and it paid off for them in the finals last year. It's paying off for them this year. It's so well constructed financially, just the contracts, the way it all works. Bob Myers has done an incredible job working this roster, just giving it so much flexibility in all areas, and that's the reason why they have room to potentially sign Kevin Durant next summer. But once again, the Golden State Warriors showing that the clutch factor is in their favor and why their unselfishness just puts them a step ahead everybody else. And one other thing kind of worth noting is, of course, the winning streak that is now a kind of in the making, and they will most likely break it. I mean, I don't think any of us have a doubt. 43 wins at Oracle Arena in a row, just one away from tying the Chicago Bulls record of 44. And it's one of those things where even when the Warriors rebuilding project really started in maybe 2011, 2012, when Mark Jackson was hired there, he kind of said it's a new day, and certainly that kind of helped lay the foundation. I still don't think Mark Jackson was ever the guy to take them into the future, but you do have to give him some credit for helping resurge and revitalize that franchise, and the fans really flocked as they normally did. It has always been a place that has created a lot of fan attention. The fans have always supported the team, and once again, that Oracle Arena, it helps so much to be there. 43 consecutive wins there, 44 coming up, and it will be very interesting to see how it comes up, because on Thursday, the next game at Oracle Arena, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who we have now seen the Warriors beat in their first two head-to-head matchups, a riveting one just this past weekend, where, of course, the Twitter world, everywhere on social media, Stephen Curry's name being dropped. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I kept reading the same thing over and over again. He's unhuman, but it really goes beyond that. It's just pure talent and pure skill. He is just the best player in the league right now, and that's coming from someone who's been a staunch LeBron James supporter for the past 10 years, but it is Stephen Curry's league now. He knows that it is his league, and he just plays that way. It's so effortless, everything that he does, and we will certainly continue to watch and see this great matchup. And it's been so hard to find teams who've given the Warriors a run for their money this season, who's really have stood toe-to-toe with them for significant periods of time this season. And the Thunder really have given them a battle in their first two games. The first matchup they played, Golden State got off to the really fast start, and then it really became a battle towards the end. But in the last 4 minutes of the game, the Warriors were in the right places at the right time, and they were able to execute. We saw this past weekend, Oklahoma City and Golden State looked like Oklahoma City was going to be able to hand them a loss, but it goes into overtime, and you put the ball in your best player's hands, and they most likely are going to make the correct basketball play. And like Stephen Curry has done all season, he did, and he just made it look so effortless like the Warriors have done this season. But the clutch factor, the home winning streak, it all is lining up like we have all thought for a repeat championship this season. I don't think that anyone has been any more confident of that happening than it is now. Just if you're not convinced, just think about it this way. It takes 7 games. It's going to take a 7-game series for them to lose to somebody. And I just don't think in the consistency department anyone has shown that ability to hang on in a 7-game series with the Warriors. But we will certainly see as time goes on. Until then, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody next time.